What's up guys, Readiness Reviews here again. We're going to be looking at another one of these Korean freeze-dried meals. At least I believe this one's freeze-dried. I'm not quite sure about that, to be completely honest. Got the outer packaging here. Korean military MRE ramen soup. Now, this is not actually a military product. This is a civilian product, but they are advertised as being a military product. I learned that on the other one of these that I did, the rice one. And the rice one was very delicious. Now, this is a little different from that though, because the rice one was beef. As you can see on this picture here, there's like some kind of prawn and some squid, and there's some peppers, so maybe it's a little spicy. See, like a mussel. So this is a seafood ramen. It also shows it in a bowl, sort of soupy. I'm guessing this is probably not going to absorb all the water that you put into it. It will be even less like a pasta and more like a soup, I'm assuming anyway. I guess we'll find out when we actually get into it. It's in the same kind of little pouch as the other one was. It's a gusseted Mylar bag pouch. The expiration date on it is very similar to what the other one was. You can see there, 7/2019. I tried to translate this, and if anything came through well, you'll be seeing those now. Basically, what it looks like is you open it up, fill it to the fill line, stir it, and then you zip it up and let it sit for 5 to 7 minutes to reconstitute, and then it's good to go. And then I attempted to translate some of this ingredients list down here. Nothing was really translating too well on that, but I did see that it had, of course, wheat flour, and it had various seafood products, and it had some warnings for may contain peanuts and things of that nature on it. Go ahead and we'll open this thing up and take a look at the internal contents before we get our water into it. It's got a little Ziploc in there. It's just like a puck of ramen. There's actually, it's a mix of ramen and rice, which is kind of cool. It has this little bag here in it. This will be our flavor packet, I'm guessing. That's what it looks like in Korean. And then I'll try to translate this. But yeah, so all that I can really see in this bag right now is the ramen and then what looks like rice. I don't see any chunks of any vegetables or anything. Oh, there might be a little something down in there. It looks like a piece of a mussel or something. I don't know. We'll find out here in just a second when our water gets boiled. This water is just coming off a very rapid boil. We're going to go ahead and get this in here so we can start getting reconstituted. And get that up to the fill line. We're going to reseal this for a second, and then we're actually going to stir it in just a second. I'm going to let those noodles get a little bit soft first. I didn't mention earlier, but it did come with a spork, and this spork is like pretty good actually. It's very sturdy. Feels like good construction. It's been about a minute. Our noodles are starting to slump in there. So there's some stuff coming through now. I can see some shrimp in there. I was afraid there wasn't going to be much in it. There's some greenery of some sort, probably some sort kind of seaweed or something like that, I would assume. The rice does look like freeze-dried rice. That's looking pretty good. We got a nice little mix on it there. We're going to seal this back up and we're going to let it sit 5 to 7 minutes as directed. Actually, the directions wanted us to add the flavor pack when we stir it, so we're going to go ahead and do that as well. This stuff right here is a very thick red. There it is, a little bit of it on the spork there. I'm going to go ahead and taste this. It has distinct seafood flavor, a little bit fishy, but not bad at all. It's nice and salty, so that's really going to impart a lot of flavor to this dish itself. And it's actually quite spicy. Not as spicy, I would say, as the rice one was, but it does have a nice little heat level to it. And we'll give this another little quick stir up. This one's a little bit more messy than the rice one was, I'd say. Now we'll seal it up and give it our 5 to 7 minutes to reconstitute. Pack feels like it's got some heft to it now. Let's take a look at it and see how it's doing. It's still got a fair bit of liquid in it, but everything does feel like it's rehydrated and not at all crunchy. It's still pretty hot though, so I think I'm going to give it like another minute and see if it absorbs any more liquid first before we try to eat it. I got this meal the same way that I got the other one, and that's that it was actually part of a birthday present. My girlfriend gave me a few of these Korean ones, and I'm very appreciative of that. The other one was very good, and from what I've tasted of this one so far, I think I'm going to like it as well. Alright, so we're going to put this in a bowl since it does have some liquid in it there. Pour this out. It definitely absorbed a fair amount of it. There's not much liquid in it, but there is a little bit. There's the inside of the bag there. Got pretty much everything out of it. Something a little weird about this is I've never really had rice and noodles mixed together on purpose. Like, it happens by accident when you're like, you know, eating Chinese food and stuff. In a dish combined into one, I'd say that's pretty uncommon for rice and noodles to be together. Here's a really good up close look at it. Give this a smell right quick, see if I can pick up any aromas. Just a bit of a fishiness. In here I can see some pepper there, and there's some onion. There's a little shrimp. There's some smaller type things in here, but I really can't make out what anything is individually. There's definitely some little shrimp pieces in here, though. They look like they have the shells on them. Yeah, they do. They're not shelled shrimp. They're like little tiny shrimp with the shells on them, but that's cool. I'll eat shrimp with the shell on them anyway. So it looks pretty good. Smells all right. Some of this in our spork. I really don't think a spork is the best thing for eating noodles. I think that an actual fork or even chopsticks is probably better. There's a look at it there on our spork, and let's give this a try. The rice did rehydrate pretty good. It does have a little bit of that sponginess that that you can get from a freeze-dried rice. The flavor on this is not overpowering. It does have just a subtle undertone of seafood. It's not, I figured it was going to be like, you know, knock you in the face, super strong seafood flavor, especially that you get with like dried shrimp and stuff. It's not overpowering. If you don't like seafood, you probably still wouldn't like this. If you do like seafood, you'd probably be fine with this. It has a little bit of spiciness to it, but not too much. The sodium level seems adequate. It doesn't need any salt or anything. It's pretty good. I do not like this as much as I like the spicy beef. The spicy beef and rice was excellent, in my opinion, just because it was legitimately spicy. This just has a little background heat to it. I don't really think this one needs anything added to it. It'd be good served with maybe with an actual like fish protein or something. It would probably complement pretty well with that. And like most of these dishes goes, you really can't go wrong serving maybe a soft boiled egg with it or a medium boiled egg, something like that. That'd go nice to give you a little extra protein because there's not really that much fish matter in here. That was our little Kim Company fish, rice, seafood ramen, and we'll be back with another video in the future. Peace, guys. See ya.